Hello everyone. We have a newsletter. I'm so excited for this, honestly, because I got the email this time, probably just because I was away long enough today that it released a while ago. We're still going to use the archive. I'm going to check and see if there's anything extra in the email, but usually there isn't, just because it's formatted nicer. It's not in Gmail. But it said cold water falls from the top of the sky in that email. So I'm very interested to see what we're going to see here in the winter 2025 newsletter. I can probably zoom this in a bit because that was looking pretty tiny. Okay, it's winter. Cold water falls from the top of the sky. Yep, it's unavoidable, but eventually spring will show up. This is funny, like, this seems to be some sort of Tobyism, that instead of like spring will return or spring will come, it's spring will show up. He's done blank will show up a number of times. Okay, not so wintry video. It's nothing to do with winter, but let's share another video from Deltarune Chapter 5's Castletown. It's a continuation from last time. Oh great. You will need to have Tenna in your town to see this one. Oh, so I won't. Of course, this is a spoiler if you haven't completed Chapter 3 and 4 yet. Well, let's look. Oh, it's taking me to YouTube. No, it's not. Yeah. Oh my god. Guys, costumes now, it's Tenna! Hey, this ain't fit. Who cares, Rubber Brain? Just put it on. Something feels off. Just roll with it. There's no time. Oh, Tenna, what do you need, my pal? Oh, it's Chris. Hey, Tenna, you's wearing the wrong costume too? That's not Tenna, you idiot. Why the heck did you knock like that? You made us dress up. And you! When are you ever gonna take that thing off? Hey, I'm talking to you. You, what was your name again? Look, I'm not saying that. Can't we just call you... Pluie? You want us to call you Pluie? Okay. You're Mike. Pluie is the name of the minigame. Yeah. Look, Oh no. Hello! Someone needs a little antenna massage. It's Tenna. Everyone get your costumes on. Not you. Oh, where are you? Uh-oh. Hey, where is he? Where's Pluie? I want to see my little Pluie. Pluie's the name of the game. His name's not Pluie. It's Mike. Hey, don't get lippy with me, Dice Boy. I know Mike better than you, and sometimes he is a cute little Pluie. Now bring him out or I'm tightening your contract. Got it, boss. Oh boy. Mike, now there's one guy who never lets something. Hey, Tenna. Oh, Mike. You don't look very Pluie today. Yep. I don't feel very Pluie today either. Well, a massage is a massage. I'll just close my eyes and pretend. Now feel free to climb up there and let her rip. Hey, Mike, when are you gonna start the, I'm not doing it. Huh? I'm not doing anything for you anymore. You always were a jokester, Mike. Not when you treat the people who work with you like expendable trash. Trash? Mike, you know I don't do that. I'm always, and lots of little notices to their contracts. Paid fruit-flavored vacation, leftover gloomy slime, you know. Boo. I know what this is about. You told me you had a bad feeling about that contract. That he wasn't supposed to sign it, that he couldn't. And if he did, something terrible would happen. And even though I knew that, I still made him do it anyway. But how could it be my fault? I need to be big. I need to be just as much as anyone else. Oh, Dump is playing too. How is it my fault he ran out on me? I could have helped him. I would have. We could have been big together.
you cared about him too, Mike. That's why, since then, it feels like you're not really here. Everything is fake. When the curtain falls, everything just feels like playing pretend. You know what I mean, Mike? Can I see the part of the employee contract that stipulates fruit-flavored vacations? Oh, yeah, right here. Magnet. And the slime. Can't forget the slime. I could never forget the slime. I think I need to go. Get more, Pluie. Yeah, good idea, Mike. Great. Chris, I don't know if it's just me, but the size of Mike's ass seems very variable lately. Okay, keep an eye on that for me, Oh. Oh, okay, this is just their idle poses. Understood. So obviously he was talking about Spampton there. And the real Mike. So that's interesting. I don't know what that could possibly, allude to in the future, but very fun nonetheless. Anyway, Deltarune Chapter 5 status update. Yeehaw! Hey, there's Cootie. There was a tweet earlier this month where Toby shared a line from Chapter 5 about Cootie getting caked up, which is apparently makeup, which we assumed. I think that was actually in the tweet too. Can't remember. But yeah, there's Cootie. If you want to know why it's Cootie, I can tell you in the Origins of Darkness 2 video. I did. Progress is going excellently. We've begun the localization process. We extracted the text from the game. 8.4 and I annotated all the text with notes for the translator. Okay, I gotta see this. Never mind. I don't need to see that. That was the previously mentioned tweet. After localization reaches its final stages, we will begin testing with a professional testing team. We also need to examine how the game operates on consoles. We'll start considering that in January. If I had to give a realistic estimate, I believe it'll take several months to release the game from where we are now. Feels crazy to say this, even though only 6 months ago you guys had only had chapters 1 and 2. But in a few months, much of the team will probably already be focusing their attention on chapter 6. Yeah, a few more details. All the rooms in the game are more or less done, minus polish to the backgrounds. Almost all the scenes in the game are complete. A single-digit amount of them need visual polish. Okay. Most of the battles in the game are done, except for a couple. These unfinished battles function from beginning to end, but need adjustments to their pacing and bullet patterns to be considered complete. The game contains hours of fun! Shadow guys are happy about it. So I'm trying to think, which newsletter was it where Toby essentially said this exact same thing for chapters 3 and 4. It was like, there'll still be a few months before release. I'm personally projecting somewhere in summer, right? For chapter 5, which that makes sense because it's like going to be the carnival sort of vibe, which is very aligned with, summertime. So yeah, that makes sense to me. A musical tidbit. Okay. I looked through the soundtrack, and this is the only song that doesn't spoil something. Most of the remaining shopkeepers in the game use this music. Well, that's everything about chapter 5. Shop. Oh, this sounds really familiar to me. Huh. Oh, interesting. Got that very, bit crushed background strings at the end there.
This part at the beginning specifically sounds so familiar to another Toby song that I swear I've listened to. If I'm going to try to analyze this song at all from like a musical standpoint, right, it's in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's got that very sort of waltzy style of, it's not percussion, but the piano in the background. You can hear it sort of has like a lighter hit on the first beat and then 2 harder hits after. So, doom, 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 doom. Actually, that's the opposite of what I just said. Harder beat at the front, then 2 lighter beats after. Anyway. The reason it does that is so you can keep the beat while you're dancing, right? So that is interesting. It does feel like very gardeny. So that's interesting. It's a good song. I like it a lot. If that is the vibe of Chapter 5's music, I will be enjoying it quite a bit. Chapter 3 and 4, look back. All right, let's do it. Tenna's gifting a present very angrily. It's not very wintry, but since it's been around 6 months, isn't it a good time to look back on Chapter 3 and 4 and share our thoughts? Okay. Yeah, I remember this. I've seen this before. It's TV time! Chapter 3. Like every other chapter, I started thinking of ideas for it around 2016. The concept was, as a break from the regular formula, let's have a crazy board game like Mario Party. Let's have a TV character who will be like Mettaton. Ghost Trick was still rather fresh in my memory, and I really loved the 3D from that game, so I wanted to have a 3D character with the same kind of appeal. Around that time, I bought a Kinect and tried to do motion capture, thinking I could combine it with Miku Miku Dance to create a crazy dancing 3D TV character inspired by Mr. TV Dinna. I composed the music for TV World in 2015. I used the project file for Mettaton's battle theme as a base. Closer to release, I modified it to add the theme from Hip Shop and Green Room. Actually, I had started composing a totally different concept for TV World in 2018 that focused more on the motifs from the rest of the chapter, but my friend's reaction to it was like, yeah, sure, it's good, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll go back to the original. The song is unfinished, don't take it seriously. Well, I'm going to listen to it anyway. Yeah, okay. It's like Tenna's motif, right? This is kind of a fun part. I like this. Dun, dun, dun. This does kind of have a more jazzy feel to it, which kind of makes sense to me, given that, you know, the Shadow guys are like jazz cats. Oh, and then we get the goofy 3/4 section too. Lovely. Dun 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 dun. You know, we just talked about this. Cool. I definitely do prefer the one that's actually in the game, though. Though, I don't know. That if that one was cleaned up, maybe I would like it just as much. Okay, so we saw the top part of this, because this is where the whole ant Tenna comes from, right? Where he's got, like, ant features. Oh, sad Tenna. Slurp up nectar with his nose, can change size, and when people are mad at him, he shrinks down to the size of a bug. Yep. Happy, he can turn the end of his nose into a flower. That happened in the game, too. And then, yeah, that's the actual design. Nose at a weird angle from the front to cheat into looking 2D. Right. If there's a complicated spin animation, his head could just have the feature drawn on frame by frame or something if reposing the 3D is too hard or complicated. This is okay, too. It's basically in 3D all the time, but probably has a few frames most of the time and just transitions between frames by stretching vertically horizontally. True. It would be funny that it threw a few smooth animations like dancing. A lot of different dances would be good. It's funny. Oh no, Faceless Tenna. That actually does exist, right? Idle. Hunches over a bit as he moves his arms back and forth. That actually did happen in the game, right? Didn't look exactly like this, but you know. Hurt. TV static. Hurt too. Oh yeah, wonder where you'd use that. Shakes his head back and forth in a 3-frame animation, zooms in and goes static. Yeah, okay, this is the final battle. Smash cut. Yep, there it is. Wow, that's impressive from Toby. He's definitely gotten better. I'm assuming Toby drew these. But, like, this pose is pretty dynamic at the end there. Very cool. I asked Canotine to make him in 3D at first. I don't think we have any files from this anymore, though. Gigi drew a turnaround based on my concept art that helped serve as a base for Pixelated Crown's 3D model. Cool. I like the back of the head being triangular. Gives it a fun vibe. Very cool. The word art was put together by Audrey Weiner, not Warner, and animated by Everdread. The concept of a character that speaks with word art was inspired by P.T. Bridgeport from the comic Pogo. Well, there's the little tennis sphinx. Aw, I'm sad we didn't get a little whale. Completing the graphics was time-consuming, but it wasn't really a massive hurdle. If there was any hurdle to the chapter, it was the gameplay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, they were going to have, like, world maps with, like, levels. That's kind of fun. I went through multiple iterations of different ideas for Tenna's boards. Originally, I wanted it to be like Mario Party or Black's Base from Gunstar Heroes. Then I realized creating that would be not only inefficient, but also result in a lack of exploration during the chapter. So then we switched to having a Super Mario Bros. 3 style overworld that contained many mini Zelda style maps. Then I just decided it'd be best if everything was one big map combined together. Then we had to also create the minigames. I seriously underestimated how much effort and direction they'd require. I think the end result was pretty fun, but I don't think I would have bit off so much if I knew how challenging and time-consuming they would be. Because the chapter was made up of many disparate parts, minigames, boards, scenes, all being created independently, it was very hard to figure out the pacing until nearly everything had been put together. After that, it became clear there was a pacing problem. This was the original projected scope of the game before anything had been created. The desert board, the cooking game. Island board, a rhythm game. City board, Susie Zilla and the cowboy section. And then the Doom board and TV world after. Right. At that time, I'd assumed that the boards would have been much quicker experiences. Only the city board would have been larger, with one minigame within each half of the city. Completing both games would allow you to go to the TV tower, which would trigger a sequence which ultimately brings you to board 4. There's no S-rank room in the original concept. Interesting. I do kind of like that better. It feels a little bit more natural, right? But obviously, I think, personally, if I was going to cut something, it would probably be the cooking game and the island board. Well, the island board is important. So maybe it's just this first section with the desert board and the cooking game. And then board 2, board 3 become board 1 and board 2. I don't know. You could definitely, like, combine some elements of the desert board and the island board together, I guess. Like the pyramid and the The spring, the spring's in the island board. What am I talking about? Like the weathers battle, and stuff like that. But it is a little bit of a shame because this city board and the Susie Zilla and Cowboy mini games are probably sounds a lot better to me than the cooking mini game and the desert board, which I find mostly kind of boring. So it's tough for sure. Never easy to have to cut something and, reformat it. After programming most of the game, this is what we had to come up with. Board 1, the style. Cooking game. Green Room, S-Rank Room 1. Board 2, Zelda. Rhythm game. Green Room 2, S-Rank Room 2. Board 3, Zelda, refactored so that it was intentionally short. Trick Tenor to letting you break from Board 3. Green Room, S-Rank, Backstage. Board 3, Susie Zilla. Board 4, TV World. Yeah. We actually created the third board, but we tried making it short because the game was dragging on with no typical Deltarune gameplay. Oh, that's sad. Because of that, we also added an overworld area in between each half of board 3, the backstage area. It was made of wood, so it heavily featured the sneaking mechanic. This is also where you originally fought Rule's card. After defeating him, you'd get a controller that allows you to play in the board as El Nina. She would cry up a storm, allowing you to access the keycard and skip the rest of board 3. Despite trying to add the backstage as a breath of fresh air, though, it just made the game drag even more. Watching friends play this version, everybody was kind of getting tired after board 2, so we realized we had to cut it down. The Mooncloud keycard. Oh, yeah. You have to get the Mooncloud stone or whatever in the third board. I remember that. Okay. This is what the final version of the game ended up being like. Board 1, cooking game, green room, S-Rank room 1. Board 2, rhythm game, green room, S-Rank room 2. TV puzzles. Board 4, TV world. Absorbing parts of backstage such as the sneaking. S-Rank room 3. Ultimately, board 3 was cut. The only remnant of it exists in the S-Rank room, but isn't that better anyway? The Susie Zilla game was made optional, and the actual enjoyable parts of the backstage were absorbed into TV world. Some people are of the opinion that having more things is always better. When you think of the entire game with all its chapters as an overall experience, you really don't want any one chapter to bog it all down, especially when, true to my assumptions, this chapter proved to be quite divisive. Yeah. Honestly, I thought up to 50% of people might hate this chapter, but even if some other percentage of people were crazy about it, but it seems like the majority of people have enjoyed it, so I'm just relieved. I'm just glad everybody likes this. That's how I feel. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's horrid. I just think compared to especially everything around it, like Chapter 2 and Chapter 4, it definitely feels weaker, right? And this is probably why, because the original scope was trimmed down a lot. Like, there was so much going into it that it just ballooned in size, and then they had to try to shrink it, and it didn't necessarily get to a place where it feels like it is, it flows really well, and you don't even notice how long you've been playing, which is something that I feel like I can say for Chapter 2 and Chapter 4 personally, and Chapter 1 to a slightly lesser extent. It's the first chapter, so that makes sense, but yeah, it is kind of a shame though, because I think the third board is my favorite aesthetically. And it does make sense that you would climb the TV tower and meet Tenna and then confront him in that area, and then it would the conflict would bleed into real life, right? So that is a little sad that had to go. Anyway, Chapter 4. Chapter 4 was much easier to make. Can I be honest? As I was scrolling down, one of these stained glass windows in the background, I was like, oh my god, is that Gaster's face? No. I'm hallucinating. Anyway, very cool. Oh! Oh, Gerson's study. Oh, it's so, cozy in this version. It's the old man! I do like how this first take, uses his colors from Undertale slightly more. I definitely prefer the outfit that they went with, the sort of authorial outfit over the sort of waistcoat outfit here. Although the pipe would have been funny. I would have liked the pipe, to be honest. But yeah, I think the version of the old man they went with for the game is definitely the best version. Oh, interesting. So that's what the Titan actually looks like. More or less. Oh, I kind of missed the big wings over its shoulders. That's cool. Wow, that's crazy looking art. That's crazy. This being said, it did have a few lesser difficulties. Originally, the climbing mechanic was just used in the normal overworld movement with climbing graphics. The result felt mushy, so I programmed a new climbing system myself. Wow, impressive. This is one of the only things I got to program, so I get to point that out. Another change involved the layout of the Dark Sanctuary. Originally, I wanted to create a giant non-linear interconnected dungeon, kind of like something from Zelda. However, the result of having a non-linear structure made it difficult to have a linear series of story events. So true. This caused the implementation of the old man to feel really weak, so the structure was changed to be linear just like everything else. Lol. Probably for the best. Finally, if there was one part that was the most annoying to make, it was the section in Noelle's house, right? Because we were introducing a unique new mechanic, the soul. I really wanted to make you feel like it wasn't wasted. My first concept was that you would have to set up a Rube Goldberg machine involving many crazy parts. For example, you had to launch a treat with a treat launching machine, to the bathroom, which would attract a hungry Ascor to sit in between Susie and Noelle. Then, when that didn't work out very well, we tried installing a toy train that would go all the way throughout the house and make puzzles around it. I was having so much trouble, I ended up asking my friend Andrew Hussey to help thinking for ideas. Oh wow, okay. Interesting. I have seen these scrapped images of the toy train section. I think that would have been interesting. Anyway, oh my god. Just going to toss an idea that might sound really stupid, but let's just roll with it for a bit and see where this goes. Instead of the treat catching Snoopy at the table, at the center there's a large bust of Macaulay Culkin screaming. So it doesn't have to be Macaulay. It could be a character that makes more sense in world. Let's just say it's Papyrus for now. Okay, that's also not going to happen. The other key difference is that the bust in its initial form doesn't have the two hands on either side. These are separate pieces which are elsewhere in the house, and the bust must be completed to proceed. The reason for this is because of all the blank that's happening. The bust keeps getting knocked over and destroying things, so it must be buttressed from either side with two supporting stone hands. Why does the bust keep knocking over? It's a key event that keeps to be repeated naturally in order for the puzzle to work. It's fucking obvious what they should be. The answers provided by the scene. Asgore's cleaning the bathroom, but now he's moved on to scrubbing the shower. You need to move the shower curtain so you can see him. The floor is very slippery, so he keeps falling on his ass and shaking the whole house. Whether this is chronically accidental due to buffoonery is an open question. Maybe Chris sneaks through the vent and pops a little paper bag to startle him. The point is it keeps happening every time it needs to. What happens when the bus is knocked over? Every time it falls on the floor and starts rolling around like an out-of-control bowling ball destroying things, you need to solve the cookie puzzle. What? At first glance, it rolls to the right side until you can find the right hand to push it into place. Ultimately, I realized that just the story and the atmosphere is the best, so we finally remade everything one more time, and I think it turned out great. I think most everybody enjoyed this chapter. Very true. Yeah, this is some insane Homestuck shit for sure. This would happen in Homestuck. But yeah, I'm glad this wasn't in the game. This would just be very strange and out of place. Anyway, fire extinguisher NPC. Wow. How goofy. Oh, these are the Biblioxes. Head animates like a flip book to show emotion, showing a sun when happy. Blinking out of sync as it animates. Hands are fans of bookmarks. That's cool. Oh, the jitterbug! Aw. Such a cute Toriel. And such a funny looking seance. What the hell? By the way, Hammer of Justice is another song I started making right at the beginning of 2016. I think the final arrangement is pretty good, but since I didn't create it for 7 years, the original piano sketch is the main version I remember. Okay, this is gonna go crazy. This sounds pretty accurate so far.
I think we're normally getting to the banjo type stuff at this point in the regular song, right? I think we have one extra bar here. Dun, 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 dun. That's kind of funny. This one doesn't have the freedom motif in it yet. Interesting. Main team breakdown. I feel like the credits aren't clear enough, so let's talk about the main team a bit. Okay. Around Sunset Chapter 2, Sarah programmed most cutscenes in Chapter 3 and 4, handled localization implementation, handled patches and building the game for every platform, and helped with testing and organization. Also, had to remake Noelle's house sequence 3 times. Occasionally makes journal comics and has a hydroponic garden growing in recycled trash. Grew an avocado plant in a Spampton popcorn bucket. Quote, every time I worked on a scene with the snack tray in Chapter 4, it made me want a cheesed cracker. So true. Fred. Programmed the boards in Chapter 3, the most overworld rooms in Chapter 3 and 4. Apparently his favorite food is tacos, and he almost left that as text in the game. Made a game called Love. Jean or Jean. Could be either. Programmed the logic of bosses and enemies and created all the acts. Also created all the attacks for Rules, La Nina, and El Nina. Oh, you mean the hardest ones in the game? Thanks a lot. Also worked on a game called Death's Gambit. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, not in the game, but definitely in that chapter, I would say. Well, again, discounting the final antagonist. Taxi assembled the rhythm game, as well as some of the other complex visual sequences, like Chris falling into the prophecy, and into the Titan with Susie. Also made some attacks, like the Knight Star attack. Okay, well, we're talking about the Knight, so I guess I can talk about the Knight, too. Yeah, the Knight obviously is harder, but, you know. La Nina and El Nina are kind of, like, strangely hard. I think I got the hang of it by the end of the second time I played through the chapter, but hey. The box cutting attack, yeah, that one's crazy. And Shudda's attacks. Made a project called Moment to Midnight. Tem. Drew basically everything. Also got really obsessed with baking for a while. Toby did something. So true. I have seen on the social medias some of Temmie's posts about baking. It's very fun. From Chapter 3, Alex programmed the many bullet patterns and also programmed Susie Zilla. Made all of the Titans attacks. Oops. And the Knight's rotating slash and final attacks. I mean, those are all pretty cool attacks, so good job. Pure Question. That's a great name. Programmed many bullet patterns, including Jackenstein's attacks and the majority of regular enemies. Along with Alex, created a game called Star of Providence. I like Jackenstein's attacks, but they did do too much damage originally, so. But, you know, I think most of the regular enemies had really cool acts, so I like it. Angel? That's an L. I was trying to figure out if it was an L or an I. It's definitely an L. Okay, handled the Titan Tower and a few overworld rooms in Chapter 4. All the switch to exclusive content and Pluie. Now the main overworld programmer of Chapter 5. Oh, interesting. Okay. I think my favorite part of Chapter 4's development was when I got to dual-wield cats for a while. I wish I could do that IRL all day, every day. Juiced, another great name, did the tiling and assembled visual and background details for Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. Cool. Sarah JS, a different Sarah, did visual effects and difficult programming things. Helped out with lighting, ripples, oh yeah, ripple, prophecies in Chapter 4 and creating the cutscenes in Chapter 5. Oh, wow. Oh, now creating cutscenes in Chapter 5. Okay. All of that stuff in Chapter 4 was crazy. Like, it looked insane. So I'm excited to see what will happen in Chapter 5 now. Andy created the three Michaels. Three Michaels. And the games Jongler and Batat. Now working on things he doesn't even know what they are. Created the game Knuckle Sandwich. Oh, yeah. I had to move my workspace into another room because I was getting yelled... because I was yelling into my microphone too much. Yeah. Robert, producer that has a soft spot for older Japanese men and history. While generally not involved in the core development process, he works on team organization, task management, and publishing guidance. May actually be a frog. Oh, interesting. Guess Andy helped out as a guest to do the cooking minigame. Also created important things for Chapter 5. Created tray bashers and more. James helped out as a guest to do the cowboy game. Also made the tornado vortex when everybody spins at once in that one act. I think I know what that's talking about. Huh? Programming boss bullets for Chapter 5. Ooh. Fancy. Wow, it's been a while, but we're going back. Whoops, that was my email version of it. We're going back to the actual email or newsletter now. That was a lot. I enjoyed it though. Square Enix collab. Hey, check this out. Walks into you and the screen swirls with a loud noise. Square Enix is doing an official collaboration with Undertale. So far, the idea is some shirts and musical albums. Tenny contributed a couple to the designs too. Aww. A piano album, Echoes Beneath. Many talented artists from Square Enix worked together to create and perform this. Yoko Shimomura, composer of Kingdom Hearts, Live Alive, Super Mario RPG, and more, was the producer and arranged one of the tracks. Wow, okay. Pretty cool, huh? It turns red and disappears with a small noise. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, wait, I'm stronger than that. Disappears instead by crumbling piece by piece and slowly lowering off the screen. Ah, that's better. Deltarune's first sale? Deltarune is 20% off for the Steam Winter Sale. It'll be on sale on console platforms as well in the coming days, so keep an eye out. Pretty sure all the people reading the newsletter already bought the game, though, right? True. Conclusion. Chapter 5, it's really moving along now. Happy 2026! Queen is here. Queen is ballin', by the looks of it. Playing some basketball. This is a very basketball pose. It looks very rotoscope, too. It's kind of crazy. Why does she look real? Alright, so we didn't get too much of a taste of Chapter 5. But what we did get, I did quite enjoy. There's not really much to theorize about in this newsletter, I don't think, but I'm sure people will find a way. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It was fun. I had a good time. I hope you did too. If you did, like and subscribe or something. I don't know. And leave a comment about what you think about the newsletter and if there's anything you picked up in here that I maybe didn't, But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.